If you're listening to this, if you're watching this video right now, and you're struggling with fatigue, with your energy, you wake up in the morning and your pants are tight again, another loop in your belt, it's just getting tighter and tighter, and you don't understand why. You're eating less, you're counting your calories, you're exercising more, but you're still gaining weight. You're struggling with your energy, you're struggling with your memory, you can't remember where you put your keys, people's phone numbers, fits of depression becoming more frequent. Your children's names, everything and anything when it comes to your memory, you see failing all around you. If you're stopping yourself at any point and wondering, why is this still happening? What can I do to take this to the next level? You don't want to miss this workshop. You're sitting there in the jump seats, you're wobbling, you're doing your exercises, and you're listening to this video and you're saying, well, yeah, this is really what I signed up for. And what I want to do is I want to encourage you to come to this workshop because the simplest concepts will make the biggest difference in your life. When it comes to weight gain, believe me, you're not alone. The reality is that about 2/3 of adults in the United States are either overweight or obese. And it's not too much different for kids and adolescents. It's nearly 1/3 now. And so it's a significant problem. And because of this, I can tell you that things aren't getting better. They're consistently getting worse unless you have a proactive plan. Let's just talk about toxicity for a second, because very few people understand that when you're toxic, it stops your body from losing weight. And it's not a question of if you're toxic. The real question is, how toxic are you? It's in your air, food, water, household, personal cleaning products. There's heavy metals like mercury in vaccines, amalgam in your fillings, in your teeth, aluminum, lead, there's chemicals in your furniture and your carpet with formaldehyde. There's mold in our HVAC systems, our air conditioning systems, prescription drugs, and all of these things have led the Environmental Protection Agency to say that your indoor air is literally 5 times more toxic than your outdoor air. So at the workshop, we're going to talk about the core 4 and how to address this from a detoxification standpoint. First of all, the functional component of the core 4 is the most important. That traditionally we've given that preeminence. And the reason why is because it doesn't matter how good you eat and how much you exercise. If you've got bones out of alignment in your neck, your back, especially in the area where the nerves feed off to your thyroid and it's choking off vital nerve supply, that organ cannot regulate itself properly. The metabolism will shut down, you will have a metabolic issue, and it'll be a neurological problem. So that has to be addressed, and obviously if you're under care in this office right now, you're working on that, which is great. But more of what's going to be covered as we work into some of these concepts at the workshop is when we get into the fitness. And this is a vital component also because unfortunately more is not better. Cutting edge technology and research now supports the fact that certain types of exercise will cause your body to store fat instead of burn it. With some of the strategies that you learn at the workshop, it really makes your life very, very easy. It's time efficient, more effective. Part of that exercise strategy is to help remove toxins naturally from your body. So very, very powerful strategy that we're going to cover there. As far as the nutritional part, controlling your weight really comes down to controlling your hormones as well, just like with the fitness component. So how we do that is regulating your body's insulin. So knowing what not to do and what to do instead will by far, bar none, be the most powerful concept that you'll learn at this workshop so that you never, ever, ever have to struggle with your weight again. Imagine what life would be like that you didn't have to hope when you woke up in the morning that your stomach was flat, that it was completely under your control. That's the concepts that you're going to learn at this workshop in terms of simple nutritional strategies that'll help you lose weight, feel great, have your healthiest year ever, think more clearly, and this is what this upcoming workshop is about. And lastly, the educational component, because it's biblically stated that for lack of knowledge our people perish. And we don't want people to perish, we want people to flourish, we want families to flourish, we want communities to flourish. One community at a time, we're creating a healthcare revolution. That's why we do these workshops every single month, so that you have to understand that when you stop learning, you stop growing. And when you stop growing, you start dying. And this is what life's about, continuing to learn and grow. And every time you come back to a workshop, you build on what you learned before. And you get stronger and more empowered and more in control of your health and your life and the outcomes that you desire. Nothing happens by accident. You have to have a plan. And if you have a plan to be healthier, have a more active life, have a better quality of life, being able to spend more time with your family, do the things that you love to do, then you have to create that foundation. And so this one coming up, I can tell you by far it is the most popular workshop that we have every single year. It's standing room only. It is a blockbuster workshop event that you do not want to miss. Remember, the big question is, if 1 hour on a Monday night could add 20 years to your life of unbounded, unfathomable levels of energy, vitality, youth, really just having the health of your dreams, what would that be worth? That's the only question you have to ask yourself. But the last question I want to ask you is, who else do you know that needs to have their life changed like that or touched, whether it be a family member, friend, or loved one? What an amazing blessing you are to them when you bring them into an event like that. We reach one and then we teach one and we pay it forward. It's going to be a phenomenal event. I'm very passionate about this. I love doing these workshops, and all the Elevation Health doctors across the country who are doing this. When you get a chance, stop at the front desk. Make sure you get yourself and your loved ones registered for this event. Weight Loss and Detoxification Blockbuster Workshop event. God bless.
Well, chances are you are far less at risk from a falling meteorite than from a rubber duck. Some environmental experts from Canada subjected themselves to the everyday chemicals we use in our everyday lives, and they authored a book they call Slow Death from Rubber Duck. Here's a summary, or at least a quick look, from our own Gary Nuremberg. I gotta hear this one.
Well, Derek, you remember that guy who made the movie about what would happen to his health after he ate at fast food restaurants for a month? This is sort of like that. Bruce Lurie and Rick Smith exposed themselves to the chemicals we all rub up against every day, monitored their blood and urine levels, and came up with some unsettling conclusions.
Very glad to be here in the U.S. this week.
They talked about Slow Death by Rubber Duck, the secret danger from everyday things, at Busboys and Poets Wednesday night. The premise, everyday things have chemicals that can harm you. Rubber ducks?
And so you have a little rubber duck floating in the bath. The child starts chewing on the duck. The chemical is released into the child's mouth and then is absorbed into the body.
A paper receipt from the drugstore?
This kind of almost waxy white receipt that so many of us handle every day turns out to be coated with bisphenol A, which is a known hormone-disrupting chemical. Very strong links between this chemical and prostate cancer, breast cancer.
The same stuff lines almost all canned food containers.
And then the chemical leaches into the food and then is consumed.
It's on CDs and DVDs, too. The men exposed themselves to the chemicals and monitored blood and urine samples.
We didn't do what millions of Americans don't do every single day of their lives. You know, just basic stuff.
Smith used over-the-counter antibacterial products with a chemical he says is linked to thyroid cancer.
I looked at my blood levels of this chemical before and after, and my levels went up by almost 3,000 times just in a 48-hour period.
Non-stick cookware, on high, 5 minutes.
It'll hit temperatures that cause toxic fumes to come off of the frying pan, and they will be toxic enough that if you happen to have a pet canary in your kitchen, it'll be dead within minutes.
Well, in some cases, there's no definitive science proving exposure to a particular chemical causes the harm, but science is emerging. Only last Friday, the FDA changed course and called for new research into that chemical that lines food containers, the same stuff on that grocery receipt and on those CDs, agreeing, the FDA did, with one finding that it is cause for, quote, some concern. Be kind to your pet canary.